Well, this week in cybersecurity, the Trump administration dealing with the fallout from a report from The Atlantic accusing senior national security officials of accidentally adding a journalist to that Signal group chat. Atlantic reporter Jeffrey Goldberg claiming he was on a thread with several high-ranking Trump officials who were discussing plans leading up to a recent strike in Yemen. Signal is an open source and fully encrypted messaging service running on centralized servers maintained by its parent company. So despite the messaging app being fully encrypted, concerns have been raised about the federal government conducting business on it. So for that, we'll bring in Scott Augenbaum, who's a retired FBI supervisory special agent, the author of the book, The Secret to Cybersecurity. So Scott, I think this is important because many people use their phones and they don't really think about, there are other messaging apps out there other than your service provider or iMessage. For example, you have WhatsApp, you have Telegram, and so many more, but also Signal. Can you talk about these, or maybe specifically Signal and how it works?
Yeah, instead of using your messaging app, you download something like Signal. It has encrypted communication, which means that nobody should be able to get access to your information. Also, it has disappearing features. So that means after 24 hours, you can't see what is done. So it's a much safer and much more secure method than traditional text messaging.
And the president, a great explanation, the president of Signal is defending the app amid scrutiny here. And again, we're here, there's a whole Intel hearing happening right now on really this topic. But the president of Signal said this on X, Meredith Whitaker, quote, Signal is the gold standard in private comms. We're open source, nonprofit, and we develop and apply E2EE and privacy-preserving tech across our system to protect metadata and message contents. Check out signal.org/bigbrother to see just how little data we are able to provide in response to the subpoenas we're not able to resist. So aside from the whole story, obviously the journalist was added, so that's how the information got out there. It wasn't hacked. But the app itself, if you were to say, is this one a better one? Is WhatsApp a better one? Is this one safe to use?
It all depends. You know, that's really where it comes down to. There are a lot of risks. There's a lot of things that when I was working as an FBI agent, this would be a great tool because now the data disappears. You can't keep track of it. There's a lot of uses that it could have for insiders within a company. Law enforcement cannot get access to these records. So it makes it a little bit of a challenging situation here. I know back in my day in the government, we weren't allowed to use any of these types of apps. Maybe things have changed.
Yeah, now the CIA director says it was permissible during the Biden administration. Again, as you were talking about the FBI, that is Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, speaking now, I imagine, on this very topic. So now maybe the viewers, you understand Signal and others a little bit more. Scott Augenbaum helping us to do that. Scott, thank you.
Thank you.